Cassie Lomas and I'm the makeup ambassador for Be. Today I want to show you these Be Creative Art Edition palettes, which have everything you need for the most gorgeous eyes, from a soft natural look to a more smoky finish with very groomed eyebrows. I'm going to use my model Chloe to show you some tips on how to use it. Now we're going to start with the eyebrows. Eyebrows are so important for any look, but particularly when you're doing your eyes. So this palette has two amazing shades and a wax. So I'm going to apply the wax on the eyebrows in this direction that the hair grows, where I'm going to be drawing the shadow. Each step that we do, we want to do one eye and then the other. So once you've applied the wax, you're then going to choose the appropriate colour to match your brow. Now obviously because Chloe's blonde, we want to go for the lighter colour. So if you want to dip your brush in the eyeshadow, you want to pay particular attention to the top and the bottom line of the brow, just to get really nice definition, and also at the arch.
How come you dab that colour on your hand before you put it on?
That's a good question. I dabbed the colour on my hand just to take off any excess, because what would happen if I didn't is you'd end up with too much colour in your brow, and once you get too much colour in the brow, you can't really get it out. So always dab it on the back of your hand first. If you do make any mistakes, I always find that your finger's the best eraser, so literally just wipe it off. Once you've got your brow shadow on and you've filled in all the sparse areas, you want to use your comb to just sweep it all through and blend any areas where you might have put a little bit too much colour. So brush upwards and outwards, and then use the top of your comb just to take those top hairs down a little bit. Right, now we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to start by priming the eyes. There's this amazing eye primer here. So I'm going to use my finger. I always find fingers are really great to work with on eyes. Just close for me. I'm just going to apply this all over the lid and blend it up towards the brow.
Can you use that primer anywhere else on your face?
Well, do you know what? It's got a really nice iridescent sheen to it. So what I would possibly do is use it just over the Cupid's bow here, and this will give the illusion of a much fuller lip. Works well as a highlighter as well underneath the brow.
Comes out well in photos as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, moving on to the eyeshadow. I've got two golds and a really nice light cream colour. I always like to keep patting my applicator into the eyeshadow a few times to make sure that you really coat the brush. So I'm going to pat this onto the eye. Rather than brush it on, I'm actually patting it on. And this will help it stay on longer. And I'm applying this to the whole of the lower lid and up to the socket. And then the same on the other eye. I'm going to use the darkest shade just on the outside corner of the eye just to give it a bit more definition. Close for me. You want to use the socket as the guideline and take it almost like in a V shape into the lash line.
Would you put any underneath the eye or just leave on top?
Yeah, absolutely, you could put some underneath. In fact, I always like to do the underneath as well, because I find if you just do it on the top, it sometimes looks a bit unfinished. So look up for me. I'm not putting any more product on, I'm just using the brush with what's left on it. And then I'm just going to use a clean brush, it's got no product on it, and I'm going to blend. You could, if you wanted to, use your finger and just pat the colours out like this.
Would you blend underneath the eye as well as the top?
Well, I already did that. When I applied the product, I just used my finger, look up for me, and a clean finger, and just smudged right across. And what that does is it just blends it in one movement. I'm just going to use the lightest colour here on the inside corner of the eye and over the top of the eyelid. And always pat your brush, because that takes off any excess. You can put it underneath your eyes. And a little tiny dab underneath the brow bone. You don't want to do this whole underbrow area because that's quite dated, so it's just a tiny bit underneath the arch. The Be Longer mascara is my favourite mascara. It creates like little tubes that go around each lash, so literally your eyelashes stay upright all day. I'm just going to go right into the roots, give the brush a little wiggle and then pull it out. If you go in horizontally first with your brush, and then once you've got the mascara on and you want to fan out all the lashes, turn your brush around so that you use the point of the wand to just separate and comb. When I'm doing the underneath lashes, I kind of start right at the bottom of the lower lash and pat the colour into it, because otherwise you tend to find that you get a bit too much mascara on. So I'm going to finish the look with the Be Vibrant Lip and Cheek colour. You know I like multitasking products, so this can be used on the cheeks and on the lips. So I just like to draw a couple of lines and then use my finger to press the colour into the cheeks, right on the apples. Smile. So this is the area where we want to create the colour, and pat it through up towards the centre of the ear. Because this is a crayon, it's really, really hydrating, and you could just apply it straight from...
It feels really smooth,
bullet.
like
Yeah.
really hydrating.
And there we have our Be Creative look, Volume 1.